Today we're going to be talking about soft life haters, why they hate your soft life, and what really happens when you reject a soft life and choose a hard one. Let's be honest, these people who hate on soft life women, they hate because they want you to suffer with them. People who reject the soft life reject their natural feminine urge to sit back and receive. They reject being cared for, and they ultimately take on an energy of hypermasculinity. When you decide to make choices that are different from these women, it's almost like you are a walking reminder of their poor choices. So I noticed that a lot of hard knock life Annies who hate my soft life, even though I haven't even reached my fullest soft life potential just yet, it's like you can tell when other women either, didn't expect that for you or just simply don't want it for you because they're having a hard time with their own life and their own decisions. And, soft life doesn't always have to do with someone else taking care of you or you getting some type of preferential treatment from a man. Sometimes it just boils down to your peace and your calmness, If you ever notice that people make slick comments or just simply resent you because you live a calm life, you prioritize peace, like you're not checking for anybody, you're in your own little bubble, maybe you're a homebody, it's because you're not burnt out, you're not bitter, you're not exhausted, you're just living softly. You're living your life, but on your terms. You're making choices that benefit your peace and prioritize your peace. And unfortunately, the women who are hating on soft life women are living life on hard mode, and sometimes they just can't stand to see you have peace and have a calm demeanor and be super feminine and super soft, while they have to be the opposite of all of those things. So I believe personally, again, when you are just coming from a place of peace and calmness, you're not rushing or panicking or fighting for scraps like a lot of other people do in this life. You just come from a place of like, I will receive what's meant for me. You sit back and kind of let things come to you because you understand magnetism and you understand law of attraction, right? You also understand that you can't force things, so you just surrender and let things come to you. So that comes with a level of peace and calm that is really like priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. And so you will make soft life haters uncomfortable because they were taught that worth comes from suffering. So they were taught that they're not worthy of certain things unless they suffer for it. Unfortunately, some women who are in toxic relationships, they believe that that's what it takes to be loved, or that's what it takes to have a man in the house or to be in a loving relationship. They believe that suffering comes with it, instead of believing that a man who genuinely loves them would never cause them to suffer or to struggle or to go through, negative things. So when you're calm in a world that is addicted to stress, like literally is running off of anxiety and just fast pace this, fast pace that, everything is chaotic. It's like when you're the opposite of that, people are going to assume there's something wrong with you or you're doing something wrong, when in reality, you're just living a soft life. And that's something I really hate, is this myth of like you have to struggle. Like I hate hearing people say that love is hard. No one said it's easy, but it definitely isn't hard either. Like being in a healthy, loving relationship takes work, it takes reciprocity, but it doesn't call for struggle. You know what I'm saying? So that myth of like, oh, love is hard, love hurts. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And we need to start unlearning that if we want to live softer lives in 2026. Another thing that's a myth is that some people are taught they need to work harder and sacrifice more. And I just feel like at a certain point, once you've experienced extreme burnout, you've experienced health issues because you're pushing yourself beyond your limit, whether it be at work or with your family, this is what chips away at your privileges, at your peace, at your happiness, and ultimately turns your life into a hard-boiled egg. So women who, decide to take a different route, so they're being supported emotionally or financially, they live life on their own terms, so they're not letting societal constructs force them into doing things that, go against their own will or go against their own well-being. They're not letting society pressure them or their family and friends pressure them into things. They live without breaking their backs, essentially. And they have people around them who support that. It challenges everything that hard knock life women live by, you know, which is why a lot of women who decide to live harder lives or who are unfortunately living harder lives due to their choices will just naturally kind of repel soft life women. They'll think that soft life is a scam. Like, I can't tell you all how many videos I've seen on TikTok of women supporting the soft life, but also surprisingly of women shitting on the soft life idea, which you would never think, right? And I saw this video on TikTok and I just had to screenshot the tweet that the girl was talking about, because she was basically agreeing with this tweet that says, "I hate it all. Soft life, luxury life, day in the life of high value woman slash man, feminine energy, passenger princess, healed life, fam, shut up, just exist." And it's like, if I was content and happy with myself, I would never fix my fingers to type something like this. Even if I thought that people who make content like luxury life content, soft life content were maybe a little annoying or overcompensating for something, I would maybe just think that in my head and move along. But to make a think piece about it, to try to get people to hop on your hate train bandwagon, when in reality, you probably would love to live a luxury life and not have to work as often or as much. You would love to work a job that, you know, pays you a lot and doesn't require a lot out of you. You would love to have a man that takes care of you. You would love to be a passenger princess. And, you know, healed life, like, why is healed something that's, you know, a negative connotation that, you know, why would she throw that in there? I just find it weird that certain women want to rain on soft life women's parade. And it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that unless you low-key feel like you deserve that in your own life and you just don't have it, so you're hating from outside of the club? You know what I'm saying? We talk about this a lot when it comes to women who hate on other beautiful women and their pretty privilege. You're hating from outside of the club. Just say you can't get it. Just say you can't get that luxury life. Just say you can't get that soft life. You can't get that high value man or be a passenger princess or heal. And why is feminine energy in there too? Because what's wrong with feminine energy? People who do this, they are cursing their own lives, in my opinion, because you are literally deterring that energy from you. When you make a mockery of people who have decided to take a soft life route, a luxury route, a healed feminine route, and making a mockery of it, you are literally saying to the world, to the universe, to God, hey, I don't need this thing. I don't want this thing. I think it's silly. I think it's nonsense. I think that these people who are in this type of movement and believe these types of things or want these types of things are full of it, and keep it away from me. And so you're going to literally experience the opposite of all these things that you're listing off, telling people to shut up and just exist. You just existing, it makes you so unhappy that you had to tweet this tweet. You had to find a friend on social media to agree with you on these things. That's actually sad, you know? But they try to make it seem like because you want these things that she listed off here, you're the sad one. It's reverse psychology. You would think as a woman, you know what women go through. You know we're on a 28 to 30 day cycle. You would think that some women, or most all women, would understand why women want a softer career path, would want a provider man, would want to work a pink collar job that doesn't require a lot of them emotionally or psychologically, like, you know, retail jobs or working at an animal shelter or, you know, being an assistant. You would think that some of these women would understand this because they are women, but unfortunately some of these women have betrayed their own selves and their own womanhood, so they can't even humanize you and your needs as a woman, which is very unique to you. They almost like treat you like you're lazy or entitled, or they're just annoyed with you altogether and treat you as though, you know, you're elitist for wanting something different from them. And it's like, you don't know what this woman has gone through. You don't know what she's overcome. She could have very much been like you once upon a time, but maybe having to deal with all the things she dealt with was no longer appealing to her, no longer served her, and she decided no more. That's how it happened for me. I used to want to hustle, get it, until, you know, my health was in jeopardy and my happiness was in jeopardy. And it got to a point where God brought someone into my life who cares enough about me to take care of me in certain aspects of my life. Not all, but certain aspects. And that is a blessing. You think I'm going to listen to a bitter, hard knock life Annie who has something to say about my little soft life that I'm building over here because she thinks that I shouldn't be relying on a man for this and that? Girl, get off my blessings, please. Go mind your own, Because if you had some help, if you had some support, you would absolutely take it. You know, that's what be killing me with these people that always have something to say about women who choose a softer life, choose a softer career path, choose a softer way of living, you know, that maybe a non-traditional work path, career path, educational path. Like, you cannot knock these women for trying something different if they realize historically and just, you know, from observing the world and the times we're in, especially now, that the traditional route may not always be the way to go to have the best life, the best, softest life, and the best, most peaceful life for them. You know, so I really don't understand how some women can know what women go through because they are a woman and then still talk down on having support, having people that, you know, provide and take care of them, or choosing paths that are more non-traditional, even if it may not make sense to them. You know, how could you knock another woman for that if it means her peace and her sanity are being prioritized? And my thing is, I just wish that these hard knock life women would be honest with themselves and say, you know what, maybe I'm hating on this person or I resent this person for their life and for their choices because I've made bad choices, or because, you know, I wish I could start over. It's not too late. They see you, who chose to elevate, who chose peace, who chose to move across country to get away from chaos and drama and panic. They saw all the things that you did to change your life, and, you know, they think it's so far out of reach for them. But if they just got out of their own way, they would realize that they could have the same things and that it's not a competition. And I love that a lot of more women are pivoting to the soft life, despite the naysayers, despite the people who try to fear monger them. Because again, if these women could, if these women who were hating could, they would. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about the soft life. Are you a soft life hater, low-key? Like, it's okay if you are. I just want to hear your, you know, your 2 cents and what you may think. If you aspire to live a soft life, or if you already are, drop down in the comment section. Let me know some of the life choices you made that got you to the point that you're at. Let me know if you're on the way there, what you're doing to get there. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box so you can share your stories with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.